Wcxo, Carlisle.
This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports. Since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors presents Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin' Sports is powered by Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery in Carlisle. Talkin' Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard in rural Carlisle. Good Old Plant Land. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin' Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin' Sports. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio on this Monday. We're going to head to the Diamond a couple of times tonight. First with Central Cougars baseball coach Kevin Krask. And then from the Central Cougars, the softball team, Coach G.G. Corman. Plus, as always, on a Monday, we have the Easy and Travel Little Augie's Pizza Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. But we begin at the very, very top with Scores and Stuff, which is brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Carlisle, the hometown source for residential and commercial work. And we stay in Carlisle. He heads up Governor's Run. James Bainey. James, welcome back to Talkin' Sports.
Thanks for having me, Rip. Good to be here.
It's been too long. We've got a lot to get to, and I guess we'll start out with some college basketball. The big dance has been wild, and just like that, we're down to the Sweet 16, man. They fall by the boards in a hurry.
They do. It is an exciting tournament. I look at the parity in college basketball and all these young men that go to these mid-majors, so-called mid-majors,
right.
And you put a veteran group together, and gosh, they can beat anybody.
That's the thing a lot of people, I think, forget about. At some of the smaller schools, the mid-majors, like you say, whatever, they have a lot of senior leadership on their team. They've got guys who've been together for 3 and 4 years, and Kentucky, I know they're coming on. They've done it with the one-and-dones before, and they're maybe peaking at the right time, but they don't always get the job done in 1 or 2 years. I mean, I like that veteran stuff.
I do, too. It's the team atmosphere, and you can see from teams like Loyola Chicago and Nevada and teams like that, even Texas A&M, those types of teams that play together, they're tough when it comes to tournament time.
Loyola Chicago, I just think they're just a pretty good team, period. And now they're showing with 2 close wins, by the way, over Miami and then Tennessee. Let's see, how Saturday against Sister Janine, or she's become a top item, hasn't she, James?
She has. I saw the interview on TV. That was just fantastic. You know, she's leading them on.
One of them was the gal, I don't know her name, who does the sideline reporting for that. But anyway, one of the days she said, "You are becoming a national, treasure or institution or whatever." And she goes, "I'm becoming an international sensation." That's what I've been told. But yeah, so they're in that final 6. Some big, no number ones left in the South, in fact in the South. The highest seed is Kentucky, but that's another thing. There are just a lot of good teams, and this seeding, when you get away from number 1, maybe number 2, there are a lot of teams in that top 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 that can beat anybody on any given night anyway.
Well, look at Syracuse. I think they're the team that they've got, a lot of good players, and they've won not only 2 games, they've won a play-in game.
Yeah, and I must admit, well, not admit, I despise Jim Boeheim, but they are there. And 2 or 3 years ago, this happened with them, and they went pretty far too. But yeah, Coos is still alive. There is a number 1 in Nova in Kansas, on the the east side of the bracket there in the Midwest and the East. The South again, number 5 Kentucky is the highest seed standing, but Gonzaga and Michigan in the West, it's going to be really good, and we'll narrow it down even more. Well, it goes down to the Elite Eight after this coming weekend after Sunday, so it's getting down to crunch time.
It is, and some of the teams you can see that just were so during the year have really come on. I'm a Dookie fan, and boy, they're playing well.
Well, I do like watching Bagley the third play, and again they have Grayson Allen, who is loved, probably hated by more, but he's a good ball player, no doubt. They're hanging in, and they have the Qs next, and that should be a good game. We should have a lot of them. That Nevada game yesterday, I mean, they were 22 down against Cincinnati, and they came back and won that game by 2. I think that was the largest comeback in tournament history, or the second largest possibly.
Well, Cincinnati was a good team, and I'm sure a lot of people had them going, to the Elite Eight. I thought they were going to win that game, and I saw that when they were 20 points up, and
I know.
Lo and behold, they didn't win.
Let's see, my final four. It looks really rotten now. I had Arizona against Carolina, Purdue, and Kansas. I have 2 teams standing, and Purdue, of course, they've taken a hit. They're without their big kid Haas inside, although they have a capable or 2 backup players there, and they did all right yesterday.
Well, Purdue is my pick to win it all, and
we got that one right, James. Or at least our pick is the same. I mean, I don't know about winning it all, but
yeah, the Final Four is going to be exciting, and any game can determine who's getting to advance. Again, some of those teams, on the left side of the bracket there, that you can say they got an easier go of it because the top teams have been knocked off already.
Kentucky for one, huh? I mean,
yeah.
They've got a clear path now. They have been starting to play pretty well. But yes, a lot of that, part of that occurred because of the University of Baltimore, or Maryland, Baltimore County, the Retrievers, and they didn't just beat the top overall seed in Virginia. They destroyed them by 20. That's the thing. I was always surprised that number 16 hadn't beaten a number 1. And there have been a couple of close calls, but I would never expect it to happen in this situation by 20 points.
Yeah, that was, that's a lifetime experience and a lifetime upset, and first time we've ever seen it in the tournament.
You know what? They gave Kansas State a pretty nice run yesterday too.
Well, I don't think Kansas State is that strong. They're playing well, and, I watch these teams that are so-called upsetting teams, and
right.
There's fight, boy. There's tenacity, and they're scrapping for loose balls, and they're diving on the floor. That's exciting stuff to me.
Mizzou, they bailed in a hurry. I've never been much of I kind of get a kick out when Missouri loses, but they were hurt. Obviously, Porter Jr. was not ready. I mean, he was gassed, and he still put up, I think, in that last game, in the only NCAA tournament game. I still think he had 16 points and 10 boards, but they were short-handed. Barnett was out because of his little incident, and 7 or 8 healthy players. So, I mean, that was a tough row.
Well, I think Conzo Martin is got a tough road there, because I'm sure they've got several people that are going to be leaving, and whether it's Tillman or Porter.
Both Porters?
Yes. I think they're going to lose a bunch.
Their dynasty, in quotes, might be really brief.
Yeah.
As far as, of course, the Illini, I wish that they beat Missouri. That's about it. But boy, they had a rough year, didn't they, James? They did.
It's tough when you see all these teams on TV that are just excited, and I watch that Big Ten, and I'm an Illini fan. I watch the Big Ten, and I watch them, just beat each other up physically. And Illinois, I think, is a little bit outmanned, and it starts with the recruiting.
Definitely does. And I didn't think they were going to be too good this year, but I expected them to do more than win 4 games in the Big Ten. And Missouri might have been one of 2 or 3 good teams that's all they beat this year. So it was, and now Smith is leaving, and they have to. LeBron Black is also leaving. He's going to play pro somewhere, maybe over in Europe. He was a good player.
Sure. He was somebody that stuck it out, and I think he battled a bunch of health issues throughout his career as well. And he kind of carried him toward the end.
Well, maybe they can turn it up a notch with a few of the guys. They do have quite a few coming back. We'll see if they improve for next season, of course. I see where Penny Hardaway, pretty remarkable player in the 90s there. He's coming back to Memphis to coach, James. So that'd be Tubby Smith, only lasted 2 years there.
Oh, boy. I didn't see that.
Penny is. Hey, we got to get, if you like, a few thoughts on Harry Statham. Of course, he's out after 52 significant seasons. I mean significant, but what a career. I mean, an absolute legend.
Yeah, I talked to Coach last week, and, gosh, there's a lot to reflect on there, Rip. And, he didn't necessarily go out on his way or his terms. But he's touched a lot of young men, their lives, and they respect him. Everyone that played for him and respected him.
Yeah, and that goes well beyond basketball, doesn't it? I mean, and he's had a lot of his players go on to be coaches, of course, and they always confide in him and take some advice and all of that. But in whatever walk of life it was, and he goes down as the winningest coach of the 4-year college among any men's or women's teams or whatever, and that's lofty.
Well, that's people when you're real close to something and it hits home like that with Coach Statham. You reflect on it and you're like, well, nobody's doing that anywhere else in the country. And you see the guys on TV that are doing it at the top level, whether it's Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski, those types of coaches. But to have it right in your backyard and get to witness it and be a part of it, yeah, he's a special guy.
He's definitely all class for sure. Hockey, the Blues have won 2 in a row now, but they're fighting for their playoff lives there, James. And I tell you, the season is dwindling down. Let's see, they've got 10 games left, and they're in a real dogfight for a playoff spot. I didn't think that would. I mean, I thought they would make the playoffs, and they normally do, but they're in a tough conference, so they can't afford too many losses as they wind down.
No, as they finish up, sometimes you play your best at whatever sport it is when your back's against the wall, and they're definitely backed into a corner right now. And, I don't think they have the scoring power that they've had the last several years, but, people are still crazy about the Blues, and they've had a decent year. It's not been a bad year, but it's been a decent year.
They're home for the Bruins Wednesday night. They beat the Hawks last night in overtime. They came back 3 different times in that one. The Cardinals were idle today. They socked the Nationals 10-zip yesterday. They entertain the Mets tomorrow. What do you think about the Redbirds for 2018? Uh-oh.
I still believe we need some more firepower there. That's for sure.
Oh, now you're looking for bats or pitching?
Both.
I start with pitching.
Yeah, I think with, you match them up with some of the other teams, and obviously you match them up against the Cubs, and, they're better. The Cubs are better than the Cardinals, man for man right now, and that star power is not there. We do not have the star power.
I just don't have a lot of – I mean, you pretty much know what to expect out of crazy Carlos Clown there, but, I mean, you have a good idea. But Wainwright, I mean, I don't know, and I know he's thrown well in spring training as of late, which is great. Waka's always one pitch away from another shoulder problem or something. Luke Weaver looks like the real deal. You just don't know how they'll react in that second year, though. Michaelis out of Japan. I mean, it's a lot up in the air. Most teams are in that same category outside of the top notch, like you mentioned, maybe the Cubs with their rotation and a few others, the Dodgers, Strohs in the American League, and like that.
Well, I think there's the elite teams, and you can probably put 6 or 8 elite teams in there. And, well, I think the Yankees are really strong. And, we didn't do much in the offseason. We keep waiting for them to develop these young arms and the young players, and we just don't have that star power. Those 2 or 3 guys that are, going to put up those big offensive numbers or that real dominant pitcher.
Yeah, pitching. I don't like ifs in that pitching staff, and it might come out, just fine. And it definitely could in the next 2 or 3 years with some, but just not all these young guys. It's a real rarity if they all come through. It just doesn't.
Well, sometimes one takes care of the other. If you score a few more runs, you leave that pitcher in a little bit longer, and but being able to have that offensive power, that's to me is what drives up the attendance. And the Cardinals haven't had any problem with attendance, but I say spend the money and bring in the players, and we didn't do that.
Ozuna looks to be, he has been a really good player offensively and defensively. As a matter of fact, he'll only be here 2 years and he'll be gone, though, so you can almost figure on that.
Sure, I think he was a great addition, but, I was waiting for him to sign 3, 4, 5 of those type of players. And
who would have you have liked to seen him get?
Well, the third baseman from Baltimore, I think he's a superstar. Yeah, he is a superstar, and then the big home run hitter that the Yankees signed, I think he's another guy.
It does seem like they made a really good effort for him, though.
They did, and they basically got turned down from him.
Right. That was a weird situation because he wasn't even a free agent.
Right. That no trade clause, But, there's a couple arms out there, too, and whether or not you go after somebody like Arrieta, heck, I've always been a Lance Lynn fan.
Me too. That's who I would have signed day one during the season.
Yep.
His stats are awfully good he's up there with some pretty good guys in the Cardinals' lore.
Well, you didn't ask him to be the number one guy. You put him up against somebody's number 3 or number 4, and gosh, give him the ball 25, 30 times and let him go out there and try to win the game. And
he does take it, too, Now, last year he's coming back from injury, and he still did all right. But, hey, here's a guy, just quickly tossed out the Astros earlier, but Jose Altuve, and now I see we're at 7 years and $163.5 million, but what a player he is.
He is. He's a bundle of energy is what he is. And
a little bundle of energy, but he is something else.
He's got the smallest strike zone in the major leagues, and I think he takes advantage. He's a super aggressive hitter, but, he's also very plate disciplined up there, and he gets good pitches to hit, and he's got some talent.
And he's got some power. He jacked 24. I know the home runs are up, but he hit 24 dingers last year and hit 346 to go along with it.
Sure. He plays defense, runs bases, and I look at a player like that, and would the Cardinals love to have him,
I really love watching the Astros play. It's a good, really good young team, obviously. They won it all.
Well, I think they've got a lot of good young players, and again, you've got some star power in there, and their pitching was good, and it's not – they were a team that I don't think anybody picked, and they hadn't done it before, so that newness of it makes it just like it was the year before with the Cubs, that drive, that fan drive, and the players striving. But again, I look at these big teams, and the Yankees are the one that I keep going back to where they just go out and spend the money and go get the best players.
The Astros made the move they had to make last season when they got Verlander right at the midnight stroke there. Now they picked up Cole from Pittsburgh, and he's due to have a breakout. Oh,
yeah. Garrett Cole has been a fantastic pitcher, and he just hasn't necessarily been on a real good team. But, yeah, he's a great arm.
Yeah, so they'll be tough to deal with again. Rory McIlroy won his first tournament since 16. In fact, it might have been the one at Bay Hill, the Palmer, huh?
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of it yesterday. He made 4 birdies, I think, on the backside and shot 64. That's pretty strong. Nobody was going to catch it.
No, I am not a fan of Tiger or Eldrick at all. But are you a fan? And I know he did but he actually faded. He had 2 bogeys and a par. Everybody's talking about how he finished so strong. He didn't finish strong.
Well, he was 3 over on the last 3 holes. He hit one out of bounds, I think, on 16.
Yeah,
and,
I saw the highlights.
But gosh, he's the reason all these other players, these younger players now have taken it to a different level than what he was when he was playing. And so there's more good players right now. But I think he's good for the game, Rip. And you got to respect that of what he's done there. And, I'd love to see him win one more major.
Well, hey, and he could. I mean, he has been playing well here the last 2 or 3 tournaments. But wouldn't that bother you if you were the head of golf or something? Because most fans, it seems to me, they don't tune in to watch golf. They only tune in to watch Tiger.
Well, you've seen what the ratings are.
I know, but when he's not there, wouldn't that concern you if you were golf? Because they're not really watching us. They're only watching him. And they've got some really good young players.
Sure. And, well, that's his impact on the game, whether it was, his Nike contract that he had and, getting all these appearance fees. And I just look at Tiger and he's in that same category, I believe, as Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, and they changed the game, they affected the game, and that's what he did. And I don't think he's going to catch Jack's records, but he dominated for a long time.
Martin Truex won on the NASCAR circuit. As we let you go, James, before the Mons, it seemed like it rained a lot to me today. Anyway, how's Governor's Run looking?
We're looking good. We had our first outing of the year yesterday, the Pot of Gold, and it was a little chilly and had good participation, had 22 teams, had our annual garage sale on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That go okay?
Yeah, it went fine. I think, the weather's still, people in the area are not thinking about golf yet.
Right,
when it starts warming up a little bit, we're looking for another good year.
All right, yeah. So get out to Governor's Run. Got a bunch of golfers around these parts, of course, and you draw from all over. So, hey, James, appreciate having you on again. We'll get back to you.
All right, Rip. Thank you, sir.
See ya.
Bye.
James Baney, Hoffman native, great star out of Carlisle High and in college baseball, drafted by the Boston Red Sox. What a talented athlete, period. Good to have him aboard. We need to dive away for a bit, and then we'll come back with more Diamond Talk with Kevin Krask and also Gigi Corman. This is Talking Sports for a Monday. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Nordyke Funeral Home is thinking about your future and offers secure, pre-planned funeral arrangements, relieving the emotional burden for those you love, allowing you to express your own wishes, and assures peace of mind with financial concerns when your family needs it the most. Nordyke Funeral Home has 5 locations in Albers, Aveston, Breeze, New Baden, and now Carlisle. Visit NordykeFuneralHome.com or call 588-3533. Striving to earn your family's confidence and trust, Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations.
Welcome to our music warehouse. Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs. Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here at the Bird Watson Health Mart studio. We go from one really, really good baseball player and coach to another as we hit the Johnson Jewelers guest line, this time for Central Cougars coach Kevin Krask. Kevin, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Rip. It's always a pleasure to be on your show.
Thanks for coming on. Whether or not it's baseball season, at least technically, and well, I tell you what, you've already played a handful of games, haven't you, including a double dip at Collinsville Saturday.
Yeah, even we, like most teams, haven't been able to get outside, and it seems like as soon as the game started, we were able to get out, and we froze a couple of those days. But at least you're on the field. It's better than being in the gym. No joke. That's dreary. That's bad. So get out there. The K-Hawks. It must be a pretty good club. They piled up some runs in the first game win against you Saturday. The second one, though, the nightcap was a toss-up. It was a tight affair. Yeah, we threw 2 pitchers. We threw 2 sophomores, Drew Rockers and Braden Thomas. And they threw strikes and put the ball in play, and we actually played a really clean game and had better approaches at the plate. So, we're showing signs of doing things well, but Collinsville is good. They've got a couple of really nice pitchers, great defense. they're coached well. Pete Trapp over there does a great job.
And Mike Waldo, he is still the pitching coach, isn't he? Or is he gone? Excuse me. I'm thinking of Edwardsville. I had Collinsville. No, I mixed up with Edwardsville. Yeah. I'm way off base there.
Now we did play at Edwardsville in that Metro East
and I
Classic,
noticed that on the schedule as far as Tom Pyle Field. But Waldo, he's resigned from basketball, but I believe he's still handling the pitchers for the Tigers this spring, I think. But anyway, the opening two tilts, they were against formidable squads in Normal U. Mater Dei also went up against them. That was at GCS Park, and you also Champaign Central was on the dial too.
Yeah, the first night that we played was down there at GCS, and I talked to the coach beforehand, and he explained to me that he's got a couple college prospects, a couple kids that I've already signed. He goes, we're going to go ahead and throw our basically 1 and 2 that night, so they get a little experience. And when that's the first time that you've actually been outside to actually play a game, and it's relatively cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is not the ideal situation, but it was good. The kids got to see live pitching, they got to see really talented teams, and they pushed you. And they do have a very nice club, and our kids was at least able to get out there on the field and take some swings and work on their defense and just kind of see where we are at, what we need to work on. So it was a good game. And the next game, we faced the kid that I think they said right now is, I don't know, he's in the top 15 in the state of Illinois.
Really?
Didn't throw exceptionally hard, but he had the right velocity. No, he was right-handed.
Oh, right-hander.
But I think he was a junior, so he in the junior class. But he threw with decent velocity. Most of the kids that we saw was probably hanging right around the mid-80s. And, when you're used to seeing Coach O'Rear or myself throwing BP in the cage, and then you see the 85 coming in at you, that's tough. And we realize that with the kids. We just want to see their approaches, and they did. They battled. They did the best they could with the situation that was provided.
And then Coach O'Rear, he probably flops in a knuckleball or two once in a while.
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Now, you did table a win in between, and that was good to see. You got your first win Friday against the Orphans at Centralia. Talking about some good pitching, you got some excellent variety. Well, mostly from one particular guy there on the line. Max Campworth did a great job, and then somebody came in for a nice little one-out save.
Yeah, Weiss came in. Now for Campworth, I think he threw 85 pitches. I took him to 85 as long as his arm was feeling well and he didn't look like he was getting tired. And 69 strikes. So
69.
But I told the kids, I said the difference between that game and the other games that we played was when we played against Centralia, we didn't have any errors. And that's what we're capable of. Right now, we're not going to score a lot of runs. So we have to depend upon the defense and the pitching to kind of get the job done. Play a clean game, pitchers throw strikes, make the plays that we can, and, always keep a game within reaching distance. Same thing with the second game when we played against Collinsville. Very few errors, and we were able to have a chance and opportunity. The other games, we just committed too many errors in vital situations, and we gave up I think there was a total of 12 or 14 unearned runs. You're not going to win many games that way.
No, got to have that pitching and D, and you can handle a lot of teams. But that defense, man, I remember way back in those days when we played, Kevin, and it's tough early when you're never out in the field. You're in the gym, you're fielding well, not even baseballs, but on the basketball court or on the concrete outside. That just doesn't do it. You got to get some repetition outside.
You do. And, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's almost counterproductive when you've been inside too long because it's monotonous.
You get into bad habits defensively, too.
Yeah, because, that gym floor is always going to give you that perfect shot that you're looking for. And you get outside and it's like, whoa, where'd that come from? Yeah, well, welcome to the real world. This is not going to be easy.
Of course, that might have prepped you for GCS, huh?
Yeah. Well, GCS was, that's
after
the
that.
Bad part is we don't get to play on that every day. So
after that.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. So 1-4 right now as you pause for a bit slow start, but a lot of turnover. It was really thinned out, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last year we lost kind of a bad situation. I mean, we were supposed to have Matt Walters behind the plate. He had an arm injury. His labrum, is done.
Is that what it is? The arm?
It is. And a little bit of a nerve damage. So he's at the doctor, as a matter of fact, right now. They're trying to figure out exactly how to approach this. We don't know what the situation is. It would be nice to say that we might have him back by the end of the year. But, we'll see when that comes around if it does happen. We got Dylan Wilson back, which is great because, when he's out there on the field, confidence goes up because this is, he's a seasoned veteran. But other than that, we're looking at 8 positions that are brand new, that are not consistent starters that we have back this year. So we're asking a lot from them, especially these seniors, kind of step up and take charge and do what you guys know you're capable of doing. And, hopefully the younger players kind of take the lead or follow along.
But for Matt, hopefully somehow he can shuffle back. I mean, he started the last 2 years for you as a backstop, right?
Yeah, he came in as a sophomore and did a great job. And last year, he was spectacular behind the plate. And, this year we were really counting on having at least that one center position, behind the plate. With everybody else being new, we wanted to have somebody out there that has always been able to take charge when we ask him to. But, right now it's not the situation that we have. So we just got to kind of deal with the adversity.
But as far as those mound troops, we have Nathan Streaker, Dylan, and, of course, Campworth we mentioned, and I believe Weiss, right? He got that picked up that save
he got
the other
save.
day.
Yep.
And who else can you get some innings out of, Kevin?
We are actually going to be bringing up 2 sophomores to throw games, just kind of looking for the future, trying to build up some young arms and give them some experience. So that'll be Drew Rockers, he's a sophomore, and Braden Thomas, a sophomore. So good lefties, and that it's nice that we have the lefties in our lineups, but they just need to get the experience and see against some better play at the varsity level and, just see how they handle it and hopefully mature and grow and, have them again next year and the year after.
And away from the pitching, let's go around the horn and the infield and maybe start, of course, in back of the plate and work your way however you'd like to with your basic regulars. And there's always change in high school ball, of course, depending on who's on the pitching and so forth.
We've had, I'll be honest with you, Rip, we've had 5 games. We've had 5 different lineups.
Have you? Well, yeah.
And we do not, honestly, right now, we don't have a set lineup. So if I went around the horn, I would just be telling you everybody that plays those positions. I can't tell you that, this kid's going to be starting every game because we're just trying to get them at bats and see who's going to be able to handle the hitting and who's going to be able to be consistent on defense.
Oh, I get it. You got a long road ahead here. So
we do. And that's the hard because, I've already had a number of people say, well, what's your lineup? I'm like, I don't know. I got to be honest. I really don't know. We've had, Wobie's played short. Hamilton's been at short. Trent Nunn's been at first. Campworth's been at first. Calvin Rockers has been at third. Tyler Malone's been at third. Garcia has been at second. Buddy has been at second. We've got, let's see here, Jansen in the outfield, along with Smith in the outfield, Wimpy in the outfield, Ratachik in the outfield. I know I'm going to miss somebody. I'm going to get yelled at for this.
Well, the deal is it's a work in progress, but it's going to get there. And you would love, of course, to be strong up that middle once you get settled in a little bit.
And that's really our main concern right now is trying to get, the catcher set, the second base, shortstop, and center field, and try to create around that. Everybody knows if you don't have a solid middle, it can turn into a long season. So that's what we're trying to work for. And we're pushing the kids right now. They're stressed. Right now the kids are stressed. But I said, it's going to get easier as the season progresses. It just takes time.
The conference starts next week for you against the Carlisle Indians. Another few non-league games ahead. Let's see, you won 25 games last season. How did you come out of the conference?
We won. We won the conference.
Or
we split. Yeah, we split with Columbia last year.
Okay. Okay. And a new Salem's on board this year, of course, with all the sports. So I think you've played them in the past probably, but you'll see them a couple of times this spring.
And that's a great addition.
I know.
When we heard that
it.
Salem wanted to come in, we're like, you got it's a 3-8 school that comes in and very competitive, at least on the baseball side. They're going to be competitive in the Cahokia Conference. And I think it's a great addition with losing Redbud to the smaller side. This is a great addition to bring in, and, they're not going to come in slacking. They're not going to come in. They're going to come in, hardcore, ready to go, and they're going to push you.
Let's see. How many years for you as the head coach, Kevin, with the Central Cougars? Boy,
11?
11?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think whatever Dusty's is, that's mine because we came in the same year.
Okay. Yeah, I had him on. He said 10 or 11, I believe. So, and then you have Coach O'Rear, and who else?
Coach Meyer is in charge of the JV, and Coach Robbins, Keegan Robbins from Haverston Grade School.
Very good.
He's been the assistant down there. So it's nice. We've got hitters coaches. We've got infield coaches, pitching coaches.
Look at that.
It's starting to really develop into the type of program that we want to get here and get the coaches in place. And, it's just creating the players to be able to step out on the field every day and win.
Well, they're getting some good instruction. That's the main thing there. The home opener is set for tomorrow. How does Al, I mean, not necessarily right at this minute, but overall, Al Warnke Field is in pretty good shape?
It is.
Yeah, the rains today, but
it's in perfect shape right now. We got everything leveled out, and the grass is starting to come in nice, but this rain is not. This is not a pleasant sight.
Not good timing, but this is what can we say? March and April, so
I know
it's disappointing though.
It is.
I get it. Yeah, coaching baseball is not basketball. Is you just roll out the ball and go play, huh?
You know, we talked about that. It's like, how nice is it with these basketball coaches? It's like, hey, it's snowing outside. Yeah, we still have practice.
Yeah, you don't have to line the court or anything.
No, nothing at all.
Football, you play anything.
I was outside yesterday for like 3 hours trying to get the field ready for Tuesday because you don't know. I mean, that rain. I like to trust forecasters.
No.
You can't.
No, you cannot. No, you can't at all. Well, Kevin, appreciate your early visit. We'll definitely be back to you as the season rolls along. Hopefully you have another good one and get off to a good start this week and as conference play arrives against Carlisle.
Yep. Well, we're looking for that to start and kind of get hopefully outside.
It'll happen.
Yeah, it will.
At least, pick a spot or two. Thanks, Kevin. See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Kevin Krask in between the raindrops here on Talkin' Sports. Appreciate him coming on, of course, getting some good feedback. I will on Kevin, too, and on Gigi, but on James Bainey's appearance on Talkin' Sports. Yeah, he could flat-out play and flat-out coach. Just we're talking baseball besides basketball. And indeed. Let's see, what's next? The Prep Athlete of the Week, and then we'll turn things over to Gigi Corman. It's all ahead on Talkin' Sports on a Monday. Your full-line lawn and garden center is good old Plantland. For your complete needs from Fertilome fertilizers to plant products and much more, including Plantland's do-it-yourself 4 or 5 bag lawn care program and organic lawn care program. You can also scoop up bulk supplies of bird feed, vegetable seed, and grass seed, plus bulk mulches, rock, and flagstone. Plantland on Old U.S. Highway 50, 2 miles east of Breeze. Plantland, your local Fertilome dealer.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here.
Charlie Meyer is a farmer and our state representative. He understands how important agriculture is to our economy. That's why the Illinois Farm Bureau Activator has endorsed Charlie Meyer's re-election. As state representative, Charlie Meyer saved hundreds of jobs and has a plan to create more jobs in Southern Illinois. Charlie Meyer's fighting for Southern Illinois by protecting key ag programs that Chicago politicians want to eliminate. At the State House, Charlie Meyer has voted against Chicago bailouts. Charlie Meyer has stood up to those wanting to increase our property taxes on our farmland and homes. When Governor Quinn tried to close Murray Center, Charlie Meyer stood up for our most vulnerable. He was successful at keeping Murray Center open. This year, Charlie secured record funding for our schools. Charlie Meyer, he's pro-farm, pro-family, and will protect the Second Amendment. On March 20th, re-elect Charlie Meyer for state representative. He's fighting for Southern Illinois. Paid for by Illinois Farm Bureau Activator.
We tell you our music library contains an embarrassment of riches. Except nothing embarrasses us. Playing everything.
This is Max 96.7.
Hello again, everybody. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio. The time is 6:39. That time drop brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jazz Uniforms. Go over there and buy something. Say hello to Mark. Incidentally, Gigi Corman, no, she was not originally on the roster, but she was kind enough to fill in. Tori Crowell of the Kaskaskia Blue Angels was scheduled, but she can't talk. She's feeling a little under the weather, so we will reschedule her for another time, and Gigi will be in her place in a matter of minutes. Let's go to the Athlete of the Week.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met.
Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Easy In Travel and Breeze. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel and Breeze. Call 526-2201 and by Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze, the choice for pizza, pasta, and more. Call 526-7040.
Of course, Gigi is no backup player. She's no reserve. She's a starter. She's just getting an earlier start. I should have kept Coach Kevin Krask. Yeah, it's Central Night here on Talkin' Sports. I should have had Kevin Krask hang around for this because our athlete of the week is Central Cougars pitcher Max Campworth, who we talked a bit about in Coach Krask during that segment there. The tall right-hander, yeah, I can see where he come in handy at first, too. He went 6 2/3 in that victory over the Centroy Orphans Friday night. He struck out 7, he walked just 1, and he gave up a mere 4 safeties, engaging that victory. So Max Campworth of the Central Baseball Cougars is our athlete of the week. He'll get a $10 gift certificate to Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. What's coming up Wednesday night, you ask? Thank you very much, Westland baseball coach John Grunert for one. And we just got word back from St. Louis University basketball player Paige Rocker. She'll be with us on Wednesday as well. She ended up having a really terrific senior season. Their campaign did come to a close a week or so back, I suppose. But right now it's John Grunert and Paige Rockers Wednesday night on Talkin' Sports. One more timeout is due, and when we come back, it's all actually, we may have a couple of timeouts. Anyway, we'll return after these.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Brawnability dealer in Breeze. Brawnability features the broadest lineup of wheelchair-accessible vehicles with more brands, entry types, features, and price points than any other manufacturer in the industry. See for yourself at Southern Bus and Mobility why a new or certified pre-owned wheelchair-accessible Brawnability vehicle is the only way to go. Call 526-4131 or stop by just east of Breeze on Old Route 50. This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports is brought to you by the Benoff Insurance Agency in Breeze and Trenton, Breeze Dental Care, K&J Chevrolet, Reverman Chiropractic and Spinal Rehabilitation and Breeze Motor Sales, Southern Bus and Mobility, Kaskaskia College, the First National Bank of Carlisle, Reekman Brothers John Deere, St. Joseph Hospital Breeze, Med Plus Physical Medicine and Brett's Wildlife Lodge, State Farm Insurance Agent Steve Klosterman and Hardy's locations in Breeze and Carlisle, Breeze Family Vision, Tempo Bank, Country Financial representatives Keith Wilkin and Teresa Richards, and Area CC Food Marts. WCXO Sports since 1999. The sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, the Westland Warriors, and now the Christ Our Rock Silver Stallions.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
I faked myself out. We are back for a quick moment, and then we'll go to our next guest in Gigi. A couple of congrats are in order. First of all, to our neighbors out west. The Belleville West Maroons, they beat Whitney Young in overtime by 4 to win the 4A State Basketball Championship Saturday night. So kudos to them, and also congrats to the many area high school basketball players who have corralled all conference honors and more. The season has come and gone, but you did good. In the on-deck circle, G.G. Corman. If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkins because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
Winter has brought about change for 12 Oaks Vineyard. During the winter months, our tasting room is open by reservation only. So please gather your family and friends and call us at 594-7459 to make your reservations. 12 Oaks Vineyard wine can also be purchased at Hoffman Supermarket, Carlisle IGA, and the Columbian Club in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard at 18975 Vogel Road, just 3 miles south of Carlisle, and at 12oaksvineyard.com.
If it has been a long time since you've been to the dentist, you need to know you're not alone. For some, past experiences make it impossible to pick up the phone and call. Others are embarrassed because it has been so long. Hi, I'm Dr. Casey Santel, a general dentist from Breeze, Illinois, who sedates patients with pills. I believe in listening to our patients and finding workable solutions to problems they have without making them feel guilty or putting them down. Please call me, Dr. Casey Santel, at Breeze Dental Care at 526-2020 to schedule an appointment where sedation dentistry is an option for you to take care of your teeth without anxiety.
Are you looking for a happy dental home? Dr. Draghi and Dr. Santel are in-network providers with many insurance companies and have what you are looking for. New patients welcome and most emergencies seen immediately. Get back on the right track to good dental health with Breeze Dental Care. Call 526-2020. That's 526-2020.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
This is Rip, and we are back in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio for one final scoop here on this Monday night. Every Monday and Wednesday, 6 until 7, and Saturday mornings, 9 until 10. Let's latch on to the Johnston Jewelers guest line for Bart Telzel and Central Cougars softball coach Gigi Corman. Gigi, welcome back, and on sudden notice at that, so thanks.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, we tried to get you last week or the week, but you're bumming around out west. We'll have to get to that a little bit later on. But right now it's all about softball, and you are getting closer to ramping up your new season if you get a break or two from the weather. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
What have you, and it's been mostly inside, but 3 weeks or so been practicing, working out and stuff?
Yeah, we started February 26th, and actually we started workouts for the kids after the first of the year, but then actually started practicing February 26th. So we've been at it a little bit, been hitting a lot, and had a lot of inside practices going on right now, but we've had a couple field days, but not too many.
Yeah, and maybe not anything back-to-back or barely, that's for sure. Yeah, that inside work, it's nice the first, late February, early. I mean, I guess what can we expect, but we always hope for the best in the weather. It just it's difficult to come by in March and April.
Right. It'd just be nice to get, before your first game, to get a little field time.
It would be.
Go through situations and stuff. I mean, you can talk through them and, go in a small gym and try to run through them, but, it's not the same unless you're on the field.
You need some dirt and grass time.
Right. You got to get them dirty and ready to go.
Exactly. Well, and you aimed up your win total some from last season. If I'm right on this, I'm not sure. 4-6 in the Cahokia, 13-14 overall. Am I about on target?
Yes. 4-6, and then I think we're at 13-13.
13-13. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, I don't want to tag another loss on there. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that on one of them, but I'm pretty sure we were 13-13.
Okay. Yeah, it was 13-13. Let's go. That is on the record. And what did you gain a win or two in the postseason, or how'd that go for you?
In the postseason we ended up losing to Shelbyville in the postseason.
In the first game?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's check out that roster, Gigi. Who's off the board from that unit, from that 2017 squad?
Well, we have, our player. I have two players that have been with me since I started coaching at Central. Olivia Wesselman and Caitlin Sellers has been two freshmen that I had ever since. They're seniors now, so, I mean, they're going to be a big part of the year this year. I mean, they're great players. I mean, obviously, if you're bringing them up and starting them as freshmen, they are pretty decent. So, looking forward a lot from them too, and I'm hoping for leaders. I mean, I need them to be leaders on the team and, be a little vocal and help the other kids going out. But, I got several younger classmen that I also brought up, that from last year. So,
did you?
I mean, we should be pretty decent, I think.
Oh yeah. How many did you lose through graduation?
We lost 5 seniors.
5.
Yeah,
5, okay.
and Jessica Eilers was one of our main seniors last year, and she was one of our top hitters and center fielder. So that's a big one to replace right there.
Yeah, valuable kid there. But Olivia Wesselman, you brought her name right at the outset there, and talk about valuable. She's a key cog for you this spring.
Yeah, she definitely is. Still looking to where to put her in my lineup. I'm playing with a few lineups right now. I got a slap hitter, bunter, and so you like to put Olivia where she's going to get a lot of bats, but you also want to get her where she can, get some RBIs also. So still playing with the lineup a little bit.
What's the pitching? Who else can pitch for you guys? 2? You got 3, maybe?
We got Olivia back and Lacey Schran back from last year that did most of our pitching. And then Abby Tubby, and she's a junior, and Lindsay S. is also a junior. So
you've got some options. I mean, you've got your 1 or 2 real top-notch there, right now, and hopefully the others will be groomed and grow into that too.
Yeah. So I want to get away of pitching Olivia so many games because she is good in the field and she makes our defense a lot better when I have her in the field. But you can't put her 2 places at once. So you got to go what's best for the team. That's for sure.
And you've got this whole spring campaign to go through. But while Olivia, she's marked for a SWIC next season, isn't she? As far as continuing her softball career.
Yep, she's going to play for Yanger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. But she is a very capable player and hitter and all. And who are some of the other good sticks in that lineup, Gigi? What do you expect to be 2 or 3 to carry the load for you?
Oh, we got Jessica Sellers, which is gonna, she was our next top hitter. Last year, she missed a few games last year. She had a concussion, so, her stats didn't look as good as what they would have.
No, I remember now the concussion. Did you only have 1 with a concussion? I do remember.
Actually, we had 4 starters out at one time.
Well, I do remember you bringing up concussions, but okay.
Yeah, and we kind of went in a slump there a little bit. And
I think you might have set a record there, Gigi. Don't do that again.
No, but then we have Chase Wise, yeah. And we have Caitlin Wibbles, Ashton Hari. We have some big hitters, coming back from last year that had some pretty good averages.
Good. So, and if things break right, especially as the season goes along, maybe some depth in, off that bench too.
Yeah, we definitely have some bench. I have Haley Ashford. I have a little Michaela Becker. I know I'm missing some. Like I said, Abby Tubby, like to get in the lineup. A couple, I've seen a couple little freshmen, coming up that are going to be decent for us in the next couple years. We got some choices out there.
That's what you want. You want a little variety, and those young kids, of course, they'll get plenty of diamond time with the J, or some at least, with the JV unit.
Yeah, and the JV. Morgan Tech does a good job with the JV, and teaches them a lot of fundamentals and stuff. And personally, I think every freshman needs to play some JV ball. Just to get their feet wet a little bit. Last year we had to bring some freshmen up early, which didn't get the JV time, but sometimes if you don't have a choice, you got to have some players, so we had to bring some up.
And since that happened, some of them might have gained a little softball knowledge and might help you out a little bit more in the varsity in a little quicker fashion.
That's right. They, once they figure out what you want and how to do it, I got some pretty good younger classmen, so I think, you get them to chime in with the way you want to play, and I think they'll be just fine.
You won't. Let's just assume you get some games in starting. You're set to begin Friday. Is that it against Roxana? I've seen 2 different schedules. So is that right?
Yeah, Friday against Roxana home, and then we have a doubleheader with Oakville on Saturday.
The Oakville Lady Rockets, and then another non-league contest before you tee up Cahokia action against Carlisle here in Carlisle.
Yes,
okay.
I know Carlisle is early on the schedule.
Yeah, so it's going to be another jam-packed once you get some momentum going with that weather and get out there all the time. But and you, of course, we mentioned this to Coach Krask and all the football, every sport throughout. Salem is now taking its turn in the Cahokia.
Yeah, we don't have to travel to Redbud.
Yeah, good. And I think you're going to. Have you played Salem in the past?
Actually, they've been on our schedule, but I think actually the last 2 years we've been froze out, so we ain't got to play them yet.
Yeah, well, I think you'll like playing over there too, and they've got a nice program as well. But I really love it for every sport, for the Cahokia as far as that goes. And
yeah.
And do you know, and you expect a challenge for sure? Anybody else that seems to be one of the pose the top threat or 2 in the league?
Well,
have to
as
wait and
usual,
see. Oh,
Columbia.
Okay, as usual. Okay.
Columbia, Freeburg. Well, Redbud always was, but we won't see them.
So Redbud might really take charge in that other division, huh?
I think so. Personally, I think so. They got a new coach that does pretty good over there too, and he does a real good job with them. So.
How many years now as the head coach? I know you've been around the program and involved in it for a long time there, Gigi, but as the what do you think? I don't know. I'm going to guess. Is this 4?
This is the 4th year. Yeah, we were just talking about that today with Livia and Caitlin.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's where I got my clue from. Come to think of it.
Yeah. So they started with me. So this will be my 4th year, and they'll be seniors. So that's hoping to finish big with them.
Yeah, see, so no shocker there. I'm not as sharp as I thought I was. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I knew I just read that recently. But no, that's going to be good, and you're in for a good season. But hopefully, we'll see a lot of good softball from the area, and everybody's got a chance to succeed come when that second season rolls around. But we have a lot of. I don't know how many games are on the docket for you, but I guess 10 in league play right off the bat, right? 10 in the conference. Does that sound right? 6 teams.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but, we got a pretty good conference, though. I mean,
yes, it is.
Any of these games can go any which way. I mean, us, Carlisle, Westland, I mean, they're just, softball teams and just always good games with everyone.
And you'll take your whacks at Mater Dei and Nashville. They'll both be good again, I am sure. I saw Nashville. Yeah. They leveled somebody the other day 23-0. They intentionally stepped off the base to get called out.
Yeah, they
I think it was Greenville. I suppose they're down a little bit, but I mean they'll be awfully tough. Nashville will be awfully tough though.
Yeah, they usually are. I mean, they always have a pretty good squad no matter what, and our schedule is tough all the way through.
It stacks up. Yep.
We have Triad, Highlands, Mater Deis and Freeburg's, Columbia. So, I mean, we're pretty tested every game pretty well.
That matches up with anybody's. Hey, on another topic, you're just back from the great state of Montana. Your daughter Tori was there in the national tournament, NAIA hoops, and did they just get that one challenge in? Did they play one, or did they get a victory?
No, we didn't get a victory. Okay. We were winning with 2 minutes to go. And
oh, really?
Yeah, kind of. We actually played this team that we played down in Montana and at Kansas City and went in overtime with them. So we knew we had a chance to get a win up there, but it just kind of fell apart there those last minute and a half. So.
Well, I usually do, and this time I didn't get around to checking and to see what happened. But she had just a fabulous year and career again. So, and she's always one of our good guests. Congratulations to Tori there.
Thanks.
And then there's, and of course your other daughter coached, but there's also Logan. He made quite a splash at Kaskaskia College, didn't he? And I see now, and Coach Hancock sent me the info too, but he made the All Great Rivers Athletic Conference and All Region 24, and that's some charmed up play. That competition's really salty.
Yeah, that was we we were excited about the Region 24. I mean, that's big. I mean,
it is.
This GRAC conference is one tough conference. I mean, it's some pretty tough teams. And, yeah, he pretty well held his own, and we were pretty proud of him.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It was fun watching him play. I like to see the locals, a kid or two from, Patoka. Who else did we have? Oakville. Yeah, Patoka, Oakville, and Bartelzo and Central in this case represented. So that's always great. So
yeah.
Gigi, thanks a lot, especially for coming in on a really quick notice there, and we'll get back to you, no doubt, and have a really good 2017.
I sure will. Thanks for having me, Rip.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
That's Gigi. Our thanks to her and also to Kevin Krask and James Bainey on Scores and Stuff Wednesday. It's John Grunnert and Paige Rockers, not necessarily in that order. We'll see you then. This is Talking Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Brett's Wildlife Lodge and Winery in Carlisle. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. 12 Oaks Vineyard in rural Carlisle. Good Old Plant Land. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7.